pew pew. So Solo is the brand new Star Wars movie that just came out, and it is directed by multiple people, but the credit goes to Ron Howard. When Lucasfilm was like, okay, we're gonna start doing anthology films, I don't think anybody was like, I want to know about what happened to Han Solo. You know, like, I think this is kind of one of those ones that really needed to justify its existence. Rogue One, I think, did that pretty well. This one really needed to try hard. For the most part, I'll just tell you, really think it tells you, hey, this is why the Solo movie needs to exist. Honestly, I think if it didn't happen, nothing would be changed. That doesn't mean that there aren't any good things about this movie and there aren't any things that are enjoyable. I just don't think it overall explains why we needed it, because I don't really think we did. First things first, let's talk about Solo himself, Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. Now, I'll admit, I enjoyed this guy a lot more than I thought I would, but that's probably because I wasn't that impressed with him in the trailers, and I thought what a lot of you thought, and I just thought he wasn't going to do well at all. He actually does very well given the material given to him. He really does feel like Han Solo in some scenes, and it was kind of cool seeing him deliver some of these lines. Now, do I think he owns the role? No. Harrison Ford, that is his role, and honestly, I think other people could have done the job just as well, but for the most part, he does a good job. I was excited about my boy Chewbacca getting a lot more screen time, especially since he was only in like 2 or 3 scenes in Last Jedi. He really does have the moment to shine in this movie. He is awesome. He's very enjoyable. You get a cool bromance between him and Han, as you should. And I think the chemistry between those two characters really does work in this movie. And you see how they become friends, and you really buy into this whole lifelong friendship that they have. It's really awesome. Chewbacca has some really cool moments. Now, I'm not the first one to say this, and if you've seen any reviews or any Twitter reactions, you've seen this. Lando Calrissian, played by our good old Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, is awesome. The first time I heard his voice, I swear I thought it was Billy D. Williams. He was awesome as Lando Calrissian. He just has this swagger and this persona that you just totally buy. And now, Khaleesi from Game of Thrones was in this movie. She played Kira. She was there. She was cool. Honestly, she just felt like Khaleesi from Game of Thrones sometimes. Just a lot more, smiley and not as stoic and less dragony. So it's almost a Star Wars staple to have a snarky droid character up at this point. And Solo does have that in the form of L3. L3, not the hugest fan there. I'm just gonna say that. Not huge on the personality, not huge on a lot of the laughs. She does have some moments that will make you laugh, and especially a reaction that she has to another character was really, really funny. But besides that, I don't know. K2SO and your other droid characters are just way cooler, way funnier, in my opinion. On to some things that I mainly liked. There was some really cool shootouts and really cool space scene. You saw there's this trailer. One of the trailers had the Millennium Falcon going through like this clouded area. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I did find myself kind of enjoying that a lot. And there's a shootout that happens on a certain planet that is pretty enjoyable going through that. Now, at the end of the day, this movie is a Star Wars heist movie, and honestly, the heist part, there are some like heist movie elements that are pretty cool, but the main heist itself, almost, it felt like they had so much potential, but they just didn't utilize it. It was pretty much like, hey, we're here, got the stuff, let's go. You know what I mean? They were getting a certain thing, and there was no like trick, way, or reason. It was so bland and unoriginal which kind of leads me into my other point. There's really no drive in this movie. They tell you, hey, we need to get this thing because this thing will happen, and that's a bad thing that'll happen. But they don't really show you, hey, if this thing happens, everything is gonna be bad. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't on the edge of my seat at all in this movie. there was one part, and I'm not going to talk about it. So the whole reason they're doing this, there was no drive behind it, and I felt like that really didn't help the movie out a lot. I honestly have to say it brought it down for me. I feel like I need to tread lightly here. At least with Canto Bite, God, I hate that scene. They were there for a reason. This movie, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that drive. Now, I will admit this movie does open for a sequel, and honestly, after seeing this one, part of me doesn't want a sequel. The only reason I would want a sequel is because this movie, after I found out it was happening, made me go, huh, I want to see this thing, and this person, and that alien. And I didn't see those things, and the only reason I would want to see a sequel is if those things got introduced. You know what I mean? And I hate that that has to be the reason I would want to see a sequel. If take all that out of the equation, I don't care. Let's admit it. It's Star Wars. At the end of the day, I'm probably going to throw my wallet at anything that Disney does when it says Star Wars on it. I hate that that's the case, but we all know it's true. And if there's a Solo sequel, we're probably gonna be there. But those are just my quick thoughts on Solo. Enjoyable in some scenes. There are a lot of pacing issues. There's really no drive in the movie. Some of the performances were pretty good. At the end of the day, I'll give it a fine out of good. It's an okay time. You'll enjoy for the most part. I just hate saying that a Star Wars movie is okay. That's not right. That shouldn't be a sentence that comes out of my mouth. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Star Wars, a Solo story. That's not right. Solo, a Star Wars story. Let us know. Hit the bell notification, subscribe, like. Whenever we go live on the podcast, join in on the talk, because we love talking nerd here on DJ Ellis Nerd Talk. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Flippy, flippy. Flippy, 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 flippy.